that are inside of us are products of the death of stars, right? The stars form, they die, they produce the heavy elements, which is in each one of us. If the stars had not died billions of years ago, you and I would not exist. So there are elementary particles that are within each human being that we could trace back, if we had the ability to billions of years in the past. So we're part of the universe, whether we like it or not, on a very elemental level.
Sure.
And I believe that particles, even subatomic particles, have a conscience. It's not what you and I understand as basic thought, but the particles, their existence has some type of universal consciousness that I believe is inside each one of us. And that's kind of what I think drives humanity to go out and reach out into the stars, to get back to that proverbial mother soup that created each one of us and understand what that is. We all know where we came from, more or less, but we're trying to reach out and understand who we are. And I believe that really drives me. So whether you want to call it a past life experience or just some type of cosmic consciousness, I don't know, but I really believe very strongly in that.
What do you think the great significance is behind understanding all of this? I mean, you know, it's interesting to hear you talk about this. You've obviously put in a lot of thought to it. You obviously have your ideas and opinions on everything. And here you are trying to turn that, and I'm not trying to put words into your mouth or tell you what you're doing, but here, from what I see, is you're turning that into something that the whole family can learn from, and you're trying to spark ideas, which I find fascinating. I mean, this isn't just hey, come look at my alien and ride the roller coaster. There's meaning behind a lot of your exhibits and attractions. What do you think the greater significance is to this topic, to the human race?
I definitely think that people, from the moment they're very young and just start thinking about who they are, they want to understand why we are here. It can't just be to wake up each day, go to work, then retire, and then die. And I know that sounds very bleak and dismal, but there has to be something more that drives each one of us, and I believe there is. We want to understand not only what we're supposed to do with our lives, but why we are here. And there's something fundamental that drives us to explore and investigate. And I want this place to be a destination that sparks that imagination and that creativity. And I want it to be a place that brings people closer to understanding their relevance, their significance, and how it all ties in to this cosmic organism that I mentioned. Mm-hmm. How can we get people to be a part of that universal consciousness? And I think that's very important. I don't think there is a place today that does that in the way that I'm thinking we can do this with the Alien Apex Resort.
That's interesting. Now, do you have any prospects on finances, or I mean, is this in the foreseeable future, or are you still out there plugging away trying to find anybody who's interested?
Yeah, I've got a few potential bites, like a fisherman is out there fishing a line in the water. There is some interest. I have been contacted by a few people that are very interested, that do have some resources, but nothing is definite until we put that shovel in the ground and
Sure.
start building it. So I know it seems probably to others out there that, wow, he's just got an idea, but he doesn't have the money. How is he gonna make this happen? But I think every great idea out there starts with just a vision, a dream, and passion. And I have plenty of that. I've got people interested in it. When this first came out in the news a couple of years ago, it was on the front page, John. I don't know if you remember, of CNN and Fox News and every major news source. People were fascinated with it. Some people said, "Oh, that's silly. They're just trying to make money off of it." But other people said, "This is a great idea, and I'm really surprised that no one's actually done anything like this before." And a lot of people were saying, "If you build this, I would love to go, just for the curiosity's sake." So I knew right then that this was something very valuable, that the idea was valuable, and that people would love to go to it. So I'm really using that to drive drive me to make this happen. Even though I don't have the hard cash in the bank, I've got the passion and know that I won't give up until I make it happen.
Sure. Well, the reason I was asking those questions is I wanted to throw out there to anybody who, might be able to help Bryan out or give some opinions or point him in the right direction, in addition to everything that he's already have come to learn in the last few years. AlienApexResort.com is his website. Again, AlienApexResort.com. If you're listening on the BlackVault.com right here to BVRN, you can surf while you're listening. So AlienApexResort.com. Bryan, let me ask you about the media. Obviously, you did get a lot of exposure. I saw the Fox News interview. Let me tell you, you did brilliant. But are they treating you good? I mean, you hear all these horror stories about the media. How are they treating you?
Yeah, everyone has been really nice. No one ever said that this is ridiculous. We don't even want to talk to you. And even when they do the story, the stories are done very favorably. I mean, everybody that I discussed with, it's like, yeah, this is a great idea. This is the kind of thing that definitely should be built. Even if they don't believe in aliens or UFOs, they do believe that this could be an entertaining venue. So I've been treated very favorably. Of course, there are critics out there all the time, and I have gotten some negative feedback, but I try not to let that get the best of me. But all in all, people have been very receptive to the idea, to the concept, and really want to see this happen.
Let me ask you your opinion now, away from the theme park. How do you think the media treats the UFO topic, and how do you feel that either hurts or helps the research overall?
Well, I think it's actually evolving. I'm really fascinated by that whole subject on how the mainstream quote-unquote media is treating aliens and UFOs. And if you had asked me this maybe 5 years ago, I'd say it really they're treated like freaks the way they treat the alien and UFO researchers. But today things are really changing. When you have people coming to the front of the media that have vast experience, that are scientists, that are very reputable, when they start talking about it publicly, I think it changes the whole perception. They start to say, you know what, maybe this is something we need to investigate a little bit more. Maybe these people aren't freaks. Maybe there is some basis in this information that they're sharing. So I really think that it's been evolving. I mean, Larry King has been covering the UFOs quite a bit the last couple of months, and I really think it's great, the discussions that he has, and it doesn't look like it's a circus. When he has these shows, he's got both sides covering it. It's a very reputable discussion, and I'm really pleased with the way things are evolving in the media. I think they're taking it much more seriously today.
Well, that's good to hear. I just came back from the International MUFON Symposium and was very lucky to have emceed the event again this year. And there was a lot of media attention to the event and a lot of good coverage. But again, one of the newspapers that covered it, of course, just tore many of the people to pieces and made them look horrible and misquoted them and made us all look just like, using your term, freaks. I mean, and unfortunately, I think that sticks out more than a lot of the good coverage, unfortunately. So it's good to hear that idea from you, or that opinion from you, that it's kind of turning a little bit. Let me ask you why. It seems like the UFO topic is a lot bigger, despite some periodic negative coverage. You do have shows like Larry King covering it with big experts and so on. Why do you think that this topic is so big right now?
My gut feeling on that is that we're getting closer to a full disclosure, and I know this kind of sounds like the whole conspiracy thing, but I think that if indeed something has been happening, that there is definitely an event that's been taking place over time, it can no longer be concealed, and the powers that be that may have been trying to withhold this information from the public realize that with the internet and just the whole change in how quickly people can get information in their hands, they have no choice but to start putting little bits and pieces out there and get people ready for eventual full disclosure. That's what my gut says. I don't have any evidence to support